Good afternoon. This is BRICS Africa channel. We're here having a discussion with Ross Volk.
Thank you very much for the privilege of being here. I appreciate it, Prof.
We are welcome. As a director of the MSC Cruises, how do you connect to this initiative or working with TEHA?
So I think it's a collaboration of CEOs. It's a connected community that we want to be a part of in order to facilitate everyone being aware of what we have to offer. And certainly wanted to be part of shaping decision-making within the country in order to facilitate better investment opportunities, as well as our guests and crew being on board the vessels. You know, it's always good to be in a community of people that you can shape the way forward from a government perspective and a conversation perspective economically.
Then, have you been with TEHA for all the 12 years?
No, I think we've been about 6 or 7. We've been a part of it. This year we hosted a very good event on tourism in September with a number of the tourism ministers from the surrounding SADC regions, which I think was very, very good for us to start coordinating a sort of regional tourism aspect of how we're going to integrate our policies, because no country is an island in terms of the continent of Africa, and we need to go and manage that in terms of how we integrate the tourism solution through the process.
And in these 6 years, in your own words, what have been the successes and what have been the challenges?
From a perspective of the relationship or from our business perspective?
These two, they balance somehow.
I think the challenge from a business perspective, obviously COVID was the most significant concern that we had. Then, you know, infrastructure within Africa and South Africa in particular is something that has been neglected and needs to be reinforced, but not only from a port infrastructure perspective, but also in the surrounding communities to enable fast movement of passengers and guests through to the various destinations that they want to call at. So I think those are the biggest challenges. I think the biggest success factor is, you know, South Africa in particular is a very resilient country with a lot of resilient people.
Yes.
And we always bandy together to fix a problem.
Yeah.
And we always bandy together to solve a challenge. And I think that's one of the key things about what we love about South Africa and our investment in this country, is that the people make it worthwhile and the people make it what it is. And we need to continue to grow that to ensure that we deliver the best product for our guests and for our passengers. So, you know, those are the success factors that we really are proud of.
One thing I've realized with TEHA and its collaborators is that they all have footprint not only in South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Mozambique, and so on. What is the purpose of that, and how did you come through to that idea? What is the main problem that you are trying to solve?
Communication, I think, is one of the roots of all the solutions to our problems that we have. If we communicate effectively and we can find some common ground, we can solve most problems. So I think the reality for us is that the wider the network of communication, but direct communication between obviously the community, the CEOs, government, and the various departments, the more direct the communication is, the easier it is to solve problems and to get resolution on particular issues that need speedy kind of attention. So, you know, I think that's really the structure and the integration that we're trying to achieve in terms of this, is to make sure that we have a fast go-to-market solution for a problem.
So what I've heard in this CEO's dialogue, the working word is collaboration, 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 as you are repeating also when describing the region, but also the importance of public-private partnership. What are the instruments that you have in place as MSC Cruises to achieve that?
So I think we've got one of the best public-private partnerships that have ever been produced in South Africa. Our Durban terminal is a great example of a Transnet government parastatal agreement with us that we're running for the next 25 to 30 years. It was extremely well put together by Transnet and the South African government. We've obviously invested the money at 350 million rand in that port precinct. and we've grown it and developed it to what it is today. And I think that's a testament to that public-private partnership and the ethos with which MSC wants to collaborate with the respective governments. We have a couple of island destinations in Mozambique as well. We lease the land from the municipality in one of the destinations, and we then have a great relationship with those destinations and the government in those areas, which again talks to the success of what we're trying to achieve. So I think MSC Cruises and MSC as a global brand is very well positioned to doing public-private partnerships, and is very, very much about making sure that it's beneficial mutually to all of the parties in play.
You've answered actually the next question that I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask, how do you then transfer the successes you've had in South Africa to these other areas in the region?
So I think obviously I'm responsible for Southern Africa, and therefore within that SADC kind of region, I would pass on that kind of knowledge. But I think the MSC Global brand as a company has years more experience than me in relation to these public-private partnerships. And I think they've developed a phenomenal philosophy around how they're doing it. So Building Paradise Island is a Netflix show on what we did in the Bahamas. We reclaimed land and we built a pristine island for our destinations and put coral reefs and regenerated coral reefs in collaboration with the Bahamian government. Our port of Miami is the largest port infrastructure in the world, capable of processing 36,000 passengers a day. That was in collaboration with Miami-Dade County, the port authorities of Miami. We've got Barcelona as terminals. We've got a huge, extensive experience. So I think the brand as an organization has got an incredible propensity for public-private partnerships that are successful and are on the global stage, more so than what we've seen in South Africa. So I think the company as a brand is a phenomenal organization in terms of wanting to collaborate in a mutually beneficial manner to the respective regions.
Speaking of successes, we've had the social G20, the WD20, the G20, the P20, and the B20. You fall under the ambit of P20.
Yes.
Under the ambit of PPP, and all these three pillars of government that they've made as a maxim for the G20. What importance does holding a TEHA on the sidelines of G20, what does that transmit? What impetus does that?
I think you've got a collection of CEOs here that are busy making decisions, and it would be great. It's great that they're able to transition from this event through to the G20, the B20, the P20, to be able to be part of those conversations, and they're all in one place. So you're able to go and have conversations again, direct communication rather than working through various channels. If I have a conversation with you about what you want to achieve from a perspective, you're talking to me, the decision maker, rather than having to go through the respective spaces. I think that collaboration, that integration with all of the various events creates a wonderful opportunity to showcase growth and to provide the right decisions for the future.
South Africa standing in the world, as the last question, what conclusion or resolution you wish will be the outcome of the G20 from the business perspective, from our national perspective, and from the TEHA's initiatives?
So I think as South Africa, we have a moral imperative to create infrastructure that it benefits society. We need to ensure that we keep our citizenry safe and we provide a great secure environment, because a safe citizenry is a happy citizenry. And then we need to provide the right environment and fertile ground for the attraction of investment into the country to facilitate the infrastructure growth. I think we need to ensure that we have the best quality infrastructure around the world, not only within Africa, but around the world. So for me, the G20 needs to almost, facilitate those three pillars in order to produce the right environment for South Africa as a micro and Africa as a macro. And then obviously also take our marketing to the next level to make sure that people are aware of what the destination looks like, rather than the perception that they may have outside of that. But those are the three sort of pillars that I would look to see coming out of this G20 in terms of what we want to see going forward.
Thank you very much for enlightening.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu, Mnumzane.
Ngiyabonga baba.
Ngicela sonke kamnandi.
Yebo baba.